Larsson here. Larsson. Oh, he's in! Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! O'Reilly. How about that for a pass? Jota! How about that for a finish? That is Jota for you! In for Henrik Larsson. And Moravcik! His first goal for Celtic! Here is Shunsuke Nakamura! Exquisite!
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP, and joining me here in the 32 counties for our debut chat is Daniel. Well, Daniel, it's been a great opportunity for the channel. Put a wee video out the other day, and yeah, mate, here we are in the 32 counties bar.
Mate, definitely, it's great to actually get some back into sitting ways and actually talking to us. Obviously, sitting on the phone's alright, but it only gets you so far. But it's a fantastic opportunity for us to be in here, obviously sitting with some good memorabilia around about us. It's brilliant, man. It's nice and cosy as well.
It is. And as I said, folks, 32 Counties Bar. It's in Howard Street, Glasgow city centre. It used to be the old... What pub did this used to be? Gallagher's Bar, aye. Thank God you're here, Daniel, honestly, thank God you're here. So it used to be the old Gallagher's Bar. Well, obviously the lads at Bar 1888 have now got their hands on it and have turned it into this. Aye, it's a nice wee place to come in and really quality setup with the pub. If you want somewhere to go and watch the hoops, I would say this is definitely one of the places to be. It's probably the most spotless bar I've ever been in, Daniel.
Nah, it's always been like that. It's always been held to a high standard, and no, it's definitely a good spot just on the tune for if you're wanting to come down and watch the Celtic game and then head out after.
Definitely. And as I said, check the socials, folks, because anything that we've got on and anything that's on in here, we will be updating our social media channels as well. So if anybody wants a wee update and in terms of what the pub are doing and what's happening in here, then just stay tuned on our social media platform. I want to say a big thank you as well to Big Alec, our sponsor at AB Entertainment. He's the man that got us this opportunity, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Big thanks to Alec, obviously, getting us in here, getting us the premises secured. It means we can sit and talk a lot of rubbish for an hour and a half.
Just an ordinary day.
Aye, pretty much, aye. But no, it's a great opportunity, and big thanks to obviously Alec and AB Entertainment. Yeah,
100%. Cheers again, big man. Right, I think we better go on to the juicy stuff, as I like to call it, mate. What about Scotland, man? Wow, man, talk about ecstasy and everything they put us through, and obviously the goals, Daniel, like Big McTominay's overhead kick, an absolute beauty, but Kieran Tierney, a guy that, you know, I would say quite rightly so in bits and bobs, but he's been getting absolutely slaughtered with the Celtic fans, and then he comes up with that last night.
Aye, definitely. It's not been the easiest of starts to the season for him, I'd say. He's took some deserved criticism, I'd say, at parts, but no, it's a huge moment for him last night, obviously coming on off the bench. He looked unreal the whole game. Aye. For the minute he stepped foot in the park, he just controlled the game, and then obviously he steps on and bends one for about 25 yards past his teammate and Kasper Schmeichel, which isn't any easy feat today, but no, incredible for him, and hopefully that can be something that kind of pushes him into kicking on for the season and getting his head sorted, because he looked, in his interview, he looked quite emotional. Emotional.
So silly, by the way, we've not woke up yet.
He looked quite emotional in his interview, just kind of expressing that he's not the easiest of runs at it so far. So, no, it's a great moment for him. And hopefully he can kick on for there.
Obviously, we we said yesterday a couple of times there, but obviously that's at the time of this recording. When you guys are probably watching it, it's definitely no as in yesterday, the day before, or the day after even, for the Scotland result. But obviously the time of this recording, it was last night, so we are on Wednesday at the time of this recording, should I say. Aye, mate, not only that and all, but he comes on the park, mate, and he's on at right back.
Aye.
Like, he done more at right back in the space of the time he was on the pitch than Aaron Hickey done in the whole game that he played. It's mental.
Yeah, it's definitely not a position we've seen Kieran kind of a take up previous. But it was interesting, mate, because it kind of obviously we are waiting on Sriracha coming back to fitness, but if we're having a bit of a problem at right back, it's good to know that he looked comfortable, mate. And that was the biggest thing for me. Usually boys playing left, and also I know myself, left-footed player playing on the right side, it tends to be a bit difficult sometimes, but he just didn't look out of place whatsoever. He just stepped on the park, he gave his job and he went and done it, and that's kind of what Celtic are needing right now. Just people to step up and take it on and go and do a job. But no,
Do you actually think he could be a better option at right back now than Tony Ralston?
it all depends on the left side, mate. If we can get Sriracha back to fitness, I'd do it 100%. No disrespect to Tony
Would you even
Ralston,
move
but
Scales out? Because I've noticed with the ROI there, he was playing left fullback, for left kind of wing back for him.
aye. Scales, I think he's kind of he's doing well at centre half, so I don't kind of want to rock the boat there, because we've not really got very many options at centre half if we want to move him out. But
Simpson Pouzy maybe?
I mean, we've seen him come in, but he's only kind of played 60
No,
minutes,
yeah,
so
aye.
it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But no, definitely, I think if we can get Sriracha back to fitness quite quickly, I would definitely try Kieran out on that right side, because we know that Ralston's got holes in his game, and kind of the run of fixtures that we've got coming up, we can't afford to take risks. Do you know what I mean? So if Kieran's comfortable playing there, and we can only try it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Phenomenal. I mean, you look at the goal. Obviously, our club goalkeeper is in goals for the Danish side. He's not getting near that, man.
No,
he's never near it. And see, when you watch it back, Daniel, like Tierney uses the two boys in the middle as guides to whip that ball round the corner. He actually scans it as well, but to have the audacity then to go and try that at that point of the game, mate, takes a lot of balls.
Oh no, it definitely does. If you watch it, it actually starts outside the post and bends right in, which makes it an even better goal. It literally curves Rune Schmeichel's horn, so it doesn't give him any chance whatsoever. He actually saving that shot. So no, it's a fantastic goal, and for the time of the game, it does take a lot of balls, like you said, to actually go and execute that.
100%, mate. And obviously, as we all know, it's probably this whole city and country is elated now that Scotland are going to another World Cup, mate. And obviously, Cal McGregor's retired, so we're all like, oh no, what's going on? Is he going to get a phone call? Is he no?
I'd prefer that he didn't.
Aye.
But no, listen, it's a fantastic thing. Obviously, I've only ever seen 2 Euros, so it's a good moment for me. And the fact that I get to see, I don't care if we go and get beat off 3 games, mate. I don't care. It's just the fact that we're actually there. For me, it's incredible, man, and it's just testament to that group of players, because they've had a few bumps along the way. So no, it's brilliant, man, and I hope that we can go and do something. But if no, just being there's enough for me.
100%, mate, 100%. I definitely think Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney, if they were tuning in last night to that game, I definitely think they've got food for thought now, because Kieran has showed, that's a number of occasions now Scotland have put him there, and he's showed more than enough for me that he's capable of doing that. Plus he's got that in his locker, whereas if we're attacking down the right hand side of the field, Kieran's got that left foot to curl one in, and he's kind of shown that now, and how comfortable he is at doing it. So that's the last 2 games Kieran's played back to back now. He's scored some good goals. One at Celtic Park just before the international break, and then obviously last night, tremendous. Obviously, Daniel, as we look ahead, mate, it's not too far away from the January transfer window, mate. I know people are probably watching this going, yeah, here we go. But I think there needs to be a bit of realism as well, right? I know the team do need surgery. We need some players in, especially at the top end of the field, out in the right wing and the number 9.
Yep.
But if we're being realistic, mate, how many do you see coming in the door, and how many do you think is needed to come in the door?
For me, there's at least 3 or 4 needed. However, how many I see coming in the door, obviously January's proven to be quite a tricky spell to try and get guys in the door, stuff like that, deals and stuff, but because you've not got a lot of time to operate. But 3 at a minimum. I think a striker 100% will come in that door. If it doesn't, there's big questions. Somebody on that right hand side as well, and I think another option at right back, mate. Obviously the 4 that I said I wanted, it would be they 3, and then obviously another defensive option, so another centre half, because I think we need it. This squad seems to be dropping like flies right now, whatever this hamstring problem is that everybody keeps getting. But no, the top of the park is definitely the priority, and the fact that we need a number 9 before the summer. We can't afford, no disrespect to him, he's doing quite well, but we can't afford to keep Johnny Kenny up front as the only striker, because he gets injured, mate.
I know. Aye, we're a crisis away from...
We're gubbed, do you know what I mean? So
Johnny Kenny injury away from a crisis.
exactly, mate. So, yeah, the front 3 is definitely the priority. Striker and right wing, definitely. I would like to see 1 winger in the January window, and then maybe 1 or 2 again in the summer. But no, definitely the top of the park, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where the gaping holes are in the team. Especially number 9. I don't think we've replaced Kyogo, and we've not replaced Nicholas Kuhn. So there's 2 positions straight away. Again, the new sitting here, mate, we don't know how long it's going to take for Jota to come back to the team. So I do agree. I think we need surgery there. What about departures? Do you see anybody going?
Tyson Maeda. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I don't think we'll see him staying until the summer. No, for me. Obviously, we know Tierney has got the talent. Maeda comes out again in the press. I don't know if you've seen it, and saying they're playing me out of position on the right.
I did see that.
Seen that midweek. Obviously, all the controversy in the summer as well. I think that'll be the time that Celtic pull the trigger and actually let him go.
There's a couple of times he's done that now, isn't it?
I know.
He's come out in the press, yeah.
So they'll not want that either. So yeah, for me, top talent, and kind of you take him out that team and we lose so much. But listen, if he doesn't want to be at the club, he's made that very clear. He's stuck in.
Performance levels have shown that.
Yeah, he's stuck in, and he's done a job in part, but I don't see him staying any longer than January. Apart from that, I think I don't really see anything else. Obviously, like you always say, it's hairy balls we've got, not crystal ones, so we don't know what's coming. But if there was to be another one, it would probably be the recall with Simpson Puzzi, because he's not getting the game time. Will a Man City actually do that? Don't know. But yeah, they're probably the biggest 2 that I see going in January. But again, we don't know.
I think you're bang on with Maeda. I think it might happen early January. I know Ryan's got a big fear that it doesn't happen before we play Rangers on the 3rd of January. But I definitely think Maeda's off. The ones that Big Alan will love me for this, but the ones that I think potentially are others that could go, Rio Atati and Paolo Bernardo. Paolo Bernardo's not getting any game time at all.
Yeah.
And when he does get game time, it's far and few between.
Yeah.
I think Luke McCowan, if Luke McCowan became the ball boy one day, I think he's that type of boy, mate. He would just love being there.
Aye.
I don't think there's any worries with Luke McCowan. He just loves, he's won the lottery. You know, he's at Celtic and that's it. So I think Luke's happy to just come on and make contributions when he can. But I think if a young guy in Bernardo, I know he's 24, but he's young.
Yeah.
I wish I was 24 too. But he's not getting any game time.
Yeah.
It's far and few between. You get a cameo against Midtjylland, but domestic squads, the last two, he's not been in it.
Aye.
So, we're sitting here saying that now, but that could be personal reasons. It could be something maybe happened in his family, or maybe he's been given time off or something, or maybe an illness, or we don't know that. We've not actually been told. But those are two I think it could be looking to go.
Yeah.
And then you've got the, like you say, number 9, the right wing. How long can James Forrest still stay at the club? Is this going to be last year? Ryan keeps saying it, mate, and he I don't know how the viewers and stuff feel watching this, but it could be a massive summer.
Oh, aye.
Never mind January, it could be a massive summer in terms of a turnaround.
Oh, aye.
So, in terms of departures that way, mate, do you see many bids coming in for the team, or like for players, or
I think
in terms of, or do you see the club just manufacturing something, especially for like say Maeda?
Yeah, I think with Maeda, I'm not too sure. I think a lot of clubs that were maybe interested in him will be monitoring the fact that his performance levels have dipped. Whether that's solely down to the fact that he wants away, we don't know. But yeah, I think we will see a few bids coming in, maybe a few unexpected. But just like Paulo Bernardo, we don't know, because he is a top talent. We've seen it when he plays. It's just trying to find a role that suits him in that Celtic midfield. He seems to be like the odd one out every time. Like, he never looks completely comfortable in a role. I've said it on here many a time that I think his attributes and stuff like that do suit kind of that number 6 role that Callum McGregor plays. It would just be about kind of coaching him into that. But again, we don't know. And on like Rio Hatate and stuff like that, I think we're starting to see, obviously Big Aaron will disagree, but I think we're starting to see the end of a cycle with the kind of Ange group of players.
Yeah.
And the fact that Ryan's spot on. I said it at the start of the season that there's going to be a big change in the squad, because it's still quite Ange heavy in terms of our top talent. So yeah, there will be a massive overhaul, I think, in the summer, and it's gonna be interesting, definitely, to see how we shape up. But yeah, I don't see guys like, if Maeda goes, I don't see Hatate going in the same window. I don't think they'll pull the trigger like that on both straight away.
Yeah.
But then if he does, it does give kind of an opportunity for guys like Bernardo and stuff to be in the team. So there's two ways of looking at it, but for me, I think they'll only let one go, and it will be Maeda.
Yeah, no, listen, I can get your point on that, because again, as it looks now with the injuries and stuff, the squad is really depleted, you know. So you think to yourself, right, we can't really let many go. But again, on the flip side of that, we don't know as yet what's going to be happening in terms of bringing players in. So again, we don't know how many's coming in the way to facilitate players going out. Another one that's came to my mind there when you were speaking, Yang.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that he was close to going to Birmingham. I think we were getting like £3 million
Something
for him.
like that,
And then obviously, through whatever reason, you know, that doesn't happen, and they end up bringing in Paddy Roberts to Birmingham, and then Yang has to come back to Glasgow. So I think Yang's another one that could potentially be maybe on the way out. And then again, you're looking at Yang's predominantly on the right hand side, so it becomes a bigger hole again, because you've now got two positions there. So yeah, I think the most important thing, Daniel, is I think we need to get to January and see where we are.
100%.
See where we are in the league, and see where we go for there, because it's alright us, try to envisage what's going to happen, but there could be something changing massively, and we don't really foresee that. But I do think the one that I think everybody's thinking of is Maeda.
Yeah.
I think Maeda's definitely going to be going, and I don't know how you feel, mate, but I don't like players that do that. Why not speak to Celtic? Why not have a chat with somebody like Martin Hill or the coaching team that are there just now on the interim basis? Why not speak to them and say, look lads, I feel as if he's a playmate position. My best position is centre forward if that's what he's, because he's thinking of the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's thinking of going with Japan, and he wants to play through the middle. Personally, I would like to see him through the middle.
Yeah.
I think he carries that threat, the running behind and stuff, but it's then who do you play in the right hand side? He's trying to do it because he's got pace and he'll work hard, but ultimately, Daniel, his work's suffering just now because of his mind, because his mind's elsewhere. Half his house was packed up and ready to go when he's agreed to go to Brentford behind the scenes. Then that doesn't happen, mate. That must take a big effect on you.
Yeah, definitely, but the out of position thing seems to be a recurring theme with Maeda. Obviously, we've seen it when he was playing on the left. He was out telling people he's not a winger, he's a striker. And then obviously he does get moved through the middle when Kyogo departs, and is one of the best seasons I think we've seen in a long time. But yeah, I think it's kind of an attitude thing, in the fact that he's no seemingly right now, because of things like going on in the background, he's no willing to run through that brick wall like he has been before. And it could be to the detriment of us, obviously, with that gaping hole on the right hand side right now.
Yeah.
If the gaffer asks you to play there, 9 times out of 10 you're going to say aye. So to come out in the media like that, instead of, like you say, having a chat with kind of the management team in place just now and saying, listen, I don't really feel comfortable on the right, I'd maybe look to play through the middle. Instead of doing that, he's come out in the media again, so it's another issue getting aired. But aye, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I would not be surprised if we see Martin continue to play him on the right, or just not play him at all, because we know what Martin O'Neill's like. He's not gonna take it off of somebody when they can't come and say it to him. So aye, interesting time, but yeah, I was kind of a wee bit shocked when I seen that.
If you're one of his teammates, so what, I mean, are you having a word with him when he comes back?
Me, aye. That's just me as a person. Like I'm quite similar to you that way. Like I'd do what I need to do for the team. If I'm playing out of position, I don't care as long as I'm on the park. But I think that comes down to like your leadership roles within the squad, and kind of saying, listen, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Because we are behind in the league now, albeit results coming up are a big thing for us to be able to change that. But if you want to be in the best possible position to do that, you can't have stuff like that coming out, because it changes the dynamic in the dressing room. And then if he takes a huff, who else is going to take the huff? And then you've got another kind of a Brendan Rodgers situation there. But no, listen, man, somebody needs to get a hold of him and say, listen, if you want this move, you need to get your head down and stop talking and let the football talk, because that's the biggest thing for anybody.
No, 100%, mate. Because ultimately that's the most important thing. He needs to go and do it in the pitch. But the problem is, we've got a guy there whose head is totally gone, and it was gone in the summer when he didn't get his move to Brentford. Especially when he'd agreed, like I say, half his house was packed up and ready to go. And he's got a wife and young kids, mate, so you can imagine the ultimate devastation of, that never happened, so you're going to be in a downer. Anybody would.
Yeah.
So whatever promises he had, or whatever assurances or gentleman's handshakes or whatever it was from maybe Brendan or somebody at the football club, that the trust is now broken, because he never gets his move. So he's looking at that and he's going, right, if you're going to do stuff to me that's, not nice, then why would I go and perform? And I know, listen, I've said it even on here, your money goes into the bank every month, you've got to go and perform, but ultimately, in those situations, you've got to take yourself into their circumstances. If that was happening to you, how would you react?
Yeah, exactly. But I think the difference between me and you is if we're not performing in our jobs, then we get a smack round the wrist and a warning, whereas he gets however many thousands of pounds continuously. So it does come down to, for me, professionalism, and the fact that we've seen players that aren't happy before. They don't come out in the media, they don't tell anybody, they just get their head down, go and play, and the move comes for them eventually.
Yep.
And then by all means, see if he went and moved, see if he done that and he went quietly and then he came out and spoke. Fair enough. But don't do it for me while you're still at the club, because that kind of just creates more problems and issues than we need, especially concerning the squad, because we've already got a kind of a injury problem going on now, so we don't need another Maeda's no happy story surrounding us, especially with the big run of games we've got coming up.
Yeah, 100%. Balikwisha, what's your thoughts on Balikwisha up to now? I know he's come under a lot of conversations with Celtic fans, and he's also come under a lot of criticism due to, as yet, a lot of us haven't seen what you're bringing to the table, mate. And against Midtjylland, I noticed something that I don't like in players. When the Celtic team were going to clap the fans, even though we'd been beat 3-1, he went straight up the tunnel.
Yeah.
I can't stand that, Daniel.
No.
I honestly do not like that. If I was in that dressing room, mate, I'd probably grabbed him in the scruff of the neck and gave him a good shake and says to him, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So as I said, in terms of your own thoughts there, mate, what you think about him? Because it was a $5 million layout we put on him.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think we've actually seen anything yet that can justify that price tag. Obviously, we know that he's come into the club under such prolonged scouting and all this media hype, and it went on and on and on and on. Apparently, we've been watching him for January. I don't know what they've been watching, but that's not the player that's came to the club. I don't think he just looks uninterested, mate. The difference in him and Tierney, it's night and day.
Aye.
Like, Tierney came in and just went, I'm going to show you what I'm all about, and he's done it. Whereas Balikwisha comes in and he's kind of a flip-flapping in and out the squad, and he's getting whipped off and subbed on, and he's just never really gave anything. Obviously, he gets the assist and the goal against was it Motherwell?
Aye. He set my head up. Sure.
Aye. He gets the assist there, and it's a good assist, but he just looks scared to run. For whatever reason, he just doesn't look as if he wants to take anybody on, and it kind of it reminds me of Palma in that way, and he would much rather...
Palma's better than him, surely. For what we've seen now, Palma scored goals in the Champions League for us, you know what I mean?
I know, but in terms of his gameplay, mate, like, he does the same things. He runs, and then when he gets up against the defender, he doesn't try and take him on, he just cuts in and passes it.
Aye.
Cuts in and passes, and we don't need that right now. We need attacking threat, somebody that's going to take the ball and run with it, and it's almost as if he only looks comfortable in trying to attempt it if we're winning the game. That's what I've noticed. Like, if he gets subbed on when we're already winning, that's when he looks to try and do something. Whereas if he's coming on and it's like a draw or we're behind, he just looks scared. And
I think if you go back to, you're talking there, players, you need that when we're behind. You look at Strum Gratz game, they scored first.
aye,
Tierney got that ball and he still started driving at their back line. And it actually, they needed to change the right back because the boy was terrified for his life.
Yeah.
He was getting tied in knots.
and that's the difference, mate. And then there's the whole right wing thing. He's kind of I don't want to play on the right.
Aye, it's not my favourite position.
Yeah, if you're a professional footballer, you
That
should.
was Brendan though, wasn't it? Brendan came out
Aye,
and says
it
that.
was. But if you're a professional football player, you should be willing and able to play on both sides.
Yeah.
Obviously, now in the modern game, obviously I know from a coaching perspective that coming up through the ranks, you're encouraged to play with both your feet. No, it's no a favoured foot. Obviously,
Yeah.
everybody has their strongest foot, but you're encouraged to play with both right from the beginning. And for me, he just looks scared, mate, and I don't think we can justify the money we've paid for him right now with the performances that we've seen from him. And that again comes down to this kind of a, if you go and spend that money, are you going to get it right? It looks as if we've scouted him for so long, and there's been so much to a fact that we've been panicking and just went, right, well, let's go and get him then.
Yeah.
Instead they actually, well, maybe no. Because I don't think any Celtic fans sitting here right now would have been angry if they went and spent that money on somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one, but we can only wait and see what happens and what comes of him. But for me right now, I'm not really bothered if he stays or goes, whether it's loan or try and recoup some of the money, because he just doesn't look interested and he looks scared when he's trying to run.
Yeah, I get you, mate. I'm with you. I agree with you. Balak Bisha, he does look scared. He doesn't look like he wants to take players on. By the way, for a winger, that's astounding.
Yeah.
Because that's fundamentally what a winger's all about.
Yep.
You go by people. And for a wee while, Daniel, I've thought, maybe he's not a winger. Maybe he's positioned somewhere else. And my dad actually said this to me. He says, JP, maybe he's a number 10. Maybe he plays behind the striker. Maybe because he's always looking for that 1-2, and he has a good passer of the ball. He keeps the ball well. And my dad did say that. He says, maybe he's an actual 10. Maybe he plays at the top end of a diamond. So do you think even maybe a change of position and an opportunity maybe in that, we might see a different player? To justify 5 million, Daniel,
Yeah.
I think you need to explore, that's just me, mate, I think you need to explore every avenue possible, mate, in order to try and get the best out of this boy.
Yeah, definitely, because we've seen that before with players like Trusty and stuff like that. Obviously, he came in left-sided centre-back, he'd done reasonably well, but then when the holes started to appear in his game, he took a wee drop at the squad, and then instead of cutting the losses, we've brought him back in at the right side due to injuries, and he's been incredible.
Unbelievable.
So, it might be a case of trying to find what works for him, but if he is a 10, then he's fresh out of luck, because I do not see him dislodging Benjamin Negrin right now. Obviously, I've got my own frustrations against him, but listen, he's still scoring goals, he's still turning up. Even though he does leave you something wanting many a time, you can't fault the fact that the guy's scoring goals. So, I don't see him taking that kind of a starting 10 role off of Negrin anytime soon. But listen, if we're going to try him there, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Just trying to see what works for him, because looking at it right now, he doesn't look like a winger. He does not look like a winger. He looks, like you said, that kind of a more creative role instead of actually a threatening role.
Yeah.
And for £5 million and the way we are right now, I don't think we've got time to kind of hope that he comes good. I think, and this just comes down to recruitment and stuff like that now. We're now in a position where anybody that does come in the door in January needs to be spot on, or the frustration's just going to keep building.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how we get on, but yeah, for me, if it is a position change for him, I'm not really phased. I hope it works, but yeah, I don't see him taking that role off of Negrin unless he has played there and he scores a hat-trick.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of food for thought, because I think for 5 million, mate, I think you need to try and get the best out of the boy.
Yeah.
And you need to try every avenue till you've exhausted it, and then you go, right, this, maybe need a couple of losses with this boy. No, we done the same with Barkas. We spent £5 million on him. That's
Yeah.
a lot for a goalkeeper.
Nearly ended up at left back.
That's what I was going to say, aye, because he played left back for Greece, he was saying, wasn't it, in training. I don't know whether he was left back, but he was left back somewhere else, because we got a different guy when we paid £5 million. I think, fundamentally, you need to. Now, I'm wanting to give him a wee bit more time, but I think over the next coming weeks, if he's given an opportunity, I think we need to start to see things from him.
Aye.
We need to start seeing him getting in the thick of things. I know he's tried a couple of digs, and the one he curled, what was the game? Was it Celtic Park? What was the game?
Oh, the one.
Was it the Falkirk game?
Aye.
He curled it and he was unlucky. It nearly went, he wasn't far away. And again, moments like that change things in players, and he would have felt the elation at Celtic Park that night if that went in and stuff. So, who knows, mate? But up to now, yeah, it's been, you're scratching your head.
Yeah.
You're kind of looking and going, right, I've seen Celtic fans out there actually saying, who sanctioned this deal?
Yeah.
Like, who was it that done it, So, yeah. What I would say is a wee bit more time maybe needed for him, but I think soon we need to start to see things moving. Obviously at this point, Daniel as well, Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney are still continuing with the first team. We spoke about this in Monday night's podcast. In terms of the new manager, mate, do you think it'll be Wilfred Nancy?
Obviously we've seen in the media and stuff like that Celtic are in talks with him, and they have been for a wee while now, and then obviously the betting odds and stuff like that have kind of outlined him as the front runner. For me, I'm just not too sure right now in the fact that if they were so confident and that he was the one, he would be here by now. Do you know what I mean? How keen they are to get the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how quickly Celtic tend to move when looking for a manager. That I feel if he was the person, obviously there's this thing about the release clause and stuff like that. If he was their number one, 100%, we want him, they would just go and pay the money. And I think it might be coming down to the fact that domestically we know we're alright just now with the guys in place. So if Wilfred Nancy isn't the man, we've got that kind of a time to explore and see who's coming available and stuff like that at maybe the turn of the year, or heading into the Christmas part of the calendar, who we can try and prize. But listen, I like the style of football in theory. In practical, we don't really know because we don't really watch the MLS. I like how it sounds though, and as of right now, he's still no my first choice. But listen, if the club go and get him, 100% I'll be behind it, and just hope that the guy is good. But yeah, for me, it's kind of a dragging now. Like, considering how much we've heard in a short period of time, it's now starting to drag a wee bit. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, listen, I can hear what you're saying. I think these deals are always pretty complex, mate, when they're happening, especially when there's money to be exchanged for these services. But obviously there's the talk also is 9 members of staff are coming with him as well. So that's just no one body you're bringing, there's a big entourage that's coming with him that he works with daily just now at Columbus Crew. So that's a big turnover. And it can take a bit of time, especially if they're at the end of their season and some of these guys have went on holidays. It can take a wee bit of time. So what I would say for that is I think we need patience with this. Like you says, I think Martin O'Neill's really helped with that, in terms of he's given us food for thought and time to relax. We've won 3 out of our 4 domestic games. So we just need to wait and see, I'd imagine. But I do think it'll be Nancy.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be. Whether it's now, at this time in recording, by the way, or when this, it could have even signed by the time this goes out to you guys. But right now, I do think it will be him. I do think he's the top target. Paul Tilsdale's been well involved in this, we understand. And he's been the guy that they've done the due diligence for. I think some of the rest of them that have been mentioned with the job are all media driven, just because of previous links and things like that. You've had guys like Craig Bellamy come out and he's just distanced himself from it straight away. Robbie Keane's now done the same thing. Because they know, obviously, they're not even in the running for it, first and foremost. And they probably know this guy's probably going to get it. We've got a good friend in Jonathan Burns, Tommy Burns' son. Celtic fans will be well known for Tommy Burns, definitely. And Jonathan does, he speaks remarkably about this guy. He says he's top. So for Jonathan to say those words, it doesn't happen loosely. You know, and the fact that Jonathan is over in the MLS, working over there and doing the job, these guys are, you know, they know what they're doing. And if that's Jonathan saying that, he's not the only one that's saying it either, by the way. There's other guys say they've worked with him and he does a good job. There's a lad, Ampadu, who's worked in England before as well. He's number 2. They've worked with Thierry Henry as well, these guys. Thierry Henry singing this guy's praises as well. So I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, Daniel, and I'm thinking to myself, there's an excitement about this as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a guy that knows Scottish football. But what he can do is certainly keep one of the lads that's there just now in amongst what he's trying to do. Like a Sean Maloney or a Matt Fotheringham or even a Stephen McManus, Gavin Strachan, boys that have maybe been at a football club, they could stay with him and work with him. And they get to, you know, tell him what it's all about. Obviously I know we're coming to the end, mate, but in terms of the new manager then, just finally for you, do you think it'll be Nancy or do you think it'll be somebody else?
As of right now, I'm still unsure, but just based on what I'm seeing in the media and stuff like that, I do think it will be Wilfred Nancy. Listen, we could be absolutely surprised the way we were, and it could be somebody out of nowhere the way it was with Ange, we don't know. But yeah, for me, just based on what we're seeing right now, I do think it will be him. But just, I'm kind of a different in the, obviously you're using an outsider perspective, I'm kind of a looking just based on his CV. It's no, and I think a lot of Celtic fans are the same in this, just based on the CV, it's no quite what we're expecting. He could come in and prove us all wrong, and he could be unreal, but yeah, for me it's just kind of it's a wee thing that keeps rolling in the back of my head, just the guy's experience and his CV doesn't kind of reflect what most of the fans are looking for right now. I think all of us are kind of hoping for tried and tested European manager, in the sense of like experience in UEFA competitions and stuff like that. But no, if it is to be him, then based on reading his like philosophies and stuff like that, it can be something that we can get excited and look forward to, because it's a very tactical way that he looks to play the game, and it does excite me. But as of right now, I'm still kind of a 50-50 in the fact that I'm not too sure if it's going to be him or if I want it to be him. But it's not me that runs the club, so what I want isn't always what I get, so we just have to kind of wait and see what happens. But no, if he comes in and proves us wrong, that's what I want, because we all just want to see the club win at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? So if he's the man to take us forward, then so be it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We don't really care as long as Celtic. I've always said winning's more important than anything, and we've managed to see our team do that for a number of time now. And it's been remarkable. It's been absolutely tremendous. mean, think of the nights we've had as Celtic fans, Daniel. You see Scotland, you know, beating Denmark 4-2 the ecstasy at Hampden.
Yeah.
We've had plenty of days like that. You
Yeah.
know. Scotland have waited 28 years for that. We
Yeah.
get that every
Yeah.
6 months or whatever you would call it, you know. So yeah, tremendous, mate. But obviously, that's obviously the end of our wee chat today, mate. I thank you very much for taking the time with me to come into the 32 Counties bar, mate, for a wee... It's a bit different for using my streaming platform, I suppose.
It is, mate, and listen, I'm all for this. I love this, coming in, getting to sit and see some of the stuff that they've got round about the pub and stuff like that. It's brilliant. But listen, chatting to you in person is always a lot better than on the streaming platform. But no, it's been good, man. It's been good to come in as well and keep nice and warm.
I know, aye. Get out of that cold weather, that minus weather. It was -1 when I got in my car this morning. Amazing, man. But thanks again, folks, for you guys that have tuned in to watch us. As I say, some new content for the channel in the 32 Counties bar. I did say at the beginning, it's in Howard Street, Glasgow City Centre. If you're looking for somewhere to come and watch your hoops, come here and bring your family, bring Andy Beggy, and have a good day out. There's always a band or somebody on in here singing as well, and there's always something going on. And you might even get to see your faces through time as well. Pretty sure we'll be popping in at certain points, Daniel.
Oh, definitely, aye.
100%. To watch your hoops when they're probably playing away from home and we're not as fortunate to get to the game. But above all else, thanks very much for tuning in, folks. Take care, enjoy your weekend, and a massive hail, hail. Bye-bye.
Sets up Larsson here. Larsson. Oh, he's in! Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! O'Reilly. How about that for a pass? Jota! How about that for a finish? That is Jota for you!
In for Henrik Larsson, and Moravcik! His first goal for Celtic!
Here is Shunsuke Nakamura! Exquisite!